I know. Alright, so Tyrannomon finally got some new support, and not just did it get new support, it got some pretty good support. You still do kind of have an issue of 3-cost evolutions at your level 4s, but with everything else that the deck can do, that's not really that big of an issue. I don't know if I would say that the deck is like high tier meta. I definitely feel like you're going to see it because it did get some new things. People do like Tyranno. It's a fan favorite. I'm really enjoying it, and it is a lot of fun. But let's get into that list, or at least my list for it. So, starting things off, I am playing 5 eggs. I'm playing the full set of BT14 Koromon to draw cards, as well as the 1 EX8 Koromon to pop potential floodgates or just low bodies. It can come up. The reason I'm playing 5 eggs is because there is a Mimi in the deck, so with the acceleration that can help give, it makes sense to play 5 eggs, in my opinion. Now, for the level 3s, I'm playing 2 of the green-purple Agumon. It is a reptile, so it does work for the 2-cost Evo later on, as well as being able to be found off of the other Agumon out of the set. The on-play can come up. The retaliation is pretty good when it comes up, but I'm trying it at 2. I've been enjoying it at 2, but if you don't want to play this one, you can always play the dinosaur one. That is the EX4 Agumon, the one that is going to give you a memory at the start of your turn if you have a red or yellow tamer, or not your start of your turn, the start of your main, and then your turn once per turn. When a red tamer or yellow tamer becomes suspended, draw 1. So it's just a little bit of acceleration, a little bit of memory gain. So I'm fine with it at 2, but by all means, if you want to play it at 4, please play it at 4. And then 2 EX1 Agumon. It's a 0-cost Evo, which is nice, but all of these are 0-cost Evo, so that's kind of a non-point. Most importantly, it finds tamers and it finds other Agumon. Notably, it can grab Agumon Bond of Bravery, which can come up since it can be a game finisher in and of itself. I'm comfortable with it at 2. I've seen a couple lists playing a full set, I've seen lists playing 3, but I think at minimum 2 is really good for the deck. And then the last of the level 3s, a full set of the red-green Agumon out of EX8. The DP Inheritable can come up a whole lot, and it's nice. But the on-play to find a reptile, to find a dinosaur, to find a Tyrannomon, and find a Ryotaro, it's honestly what Tyrannomon was really needing, was just a dedicated level 3, and that really helps. Speaking of Tyrannomons, I'm only playing 2 of the Evo reduction one. I feel comfortable with it at 2, but it can be played at more, for sure. It synergizes incredibly well with Ryotaro. It synergizes incredibly well with Tyrannomon X antibody. And when you have Ryotaro and Tyrannomon X antibody, it just does a whole lot. You can climb and then end the turn with an attack, which could potentially be game-winning attack, and you just need to climb to clear board. But being able to go from a 4 to a 6 for a cost of 3 is really nice. And then 2 of the new Tyrannomon. Yes, it does have the 2-cost Evo, which is nice. The DP that it can give itself until the end of your opponent's turn can come up. The DP Inheritable is nice, and the ability to play out of security is nice, but I only feel that it's needed at 2. It can probably be played at 3, but I'm comfortable with it for myself at 2. And I've not had any issues with the ratios for the most part. Then 3 Tyrannomon out of BT11. On play, when digivolving, you may play a tamer card with a play cost of 3 or less, which is most of the tamers in the deck. And then your turn, while you have a tamer, it's 2k. It gets tamers into rotation, which is the key thing for it, and with how important tamers can be for this deck, it's the reason why that one is at 3. but I could see an argument for playing this one at 2 and playing the Evo cost 1 at 3. And then to finish off the level 4s, a full set of Tyrannomon X antibody. Just look at him, he's just a perfect boy. In all ways, the arts, the effects, everything just perfect. Piercing inheritable, great inheritable, raid, so that you can clear even more boards, and then when attacking, if it has Tyrannomon or X antibody and sources, it can digivolve into a Digimon card with Tyrannomon in the same or the dinosaur trait in the hand with the evolution reduced by 1. Like I said, if you've got the cost reduction one already in its sources because you promoted out, go into this swing. That is a Evo cost reduced by 2. So that's a 1 cost to go into your level 3. And then if you got Ryotaro, that's a 1 cost level 6 or 2 cost level 6, depending on which one you go into. But before that, the level 5s, which full set of Master Tyrannomon and a full set of Metal Tyrannomon. Each one of them does something similar, but the same at the same time. That didn't sound dramatically right, but okay. Metal Tyranno has got the Cyborg inheritable, you might as well call it at this point, of all turns when Digimon deletes your opponent's Digimon in battle. Trash the top card of their security. I really like its Evo and on play though, where you can suspend a Digimon, then if this is suspended, de-digivolve something, you gain bounce to hand and deck protection and de-digivolve protection. It does a whole lot. It is very good. And Master Tyrannomon is also really good. Fortitude, so it can be out there and come back if you needed to. It can also get rid of a lower body at 8k, and then the security attack +1. So you're still being aggressive while getting rid of things. So yeah, full set of both level 5s. For level 6s, playing 1 Dino Rex, the Blitz can come up, but the Floodgate ability of it to kind of protect itself, since it's going to go up to a 15k all turns while your opponent has a memory, and then to just say, yeah, you can't play something that meets this requirement or less. It's really good. Rust Tyrannomon Ace is also getting played as a 1-of in here, and I will be honest, this will get cuts once the promo Rust Tyrannomon comes out, because I just feel that it is better and a little bit safer, because Overflow is still kind of a negative. That being said, it's still a really good card. If your opponent has gone wide, they swing, you go into a Rust Tyranno, you suspend their board, they can't swing on you. That's pretty good. And then it does have the alterns to, when something is deleted in battle of your opponent's, trash the top of the security, and it's not just it, so something else can run into something so that you have some safer swings. Maybe you have Dynomon that is attacking with a Metal Tyranno and Source. That's a lot of security going away from your opponent. And speaking of Dynomon, I'm only running 3. There's definitely an argument for running it at 4, and I've got nothing against that argument. The card is really good. Fortitude is a hell of a mechanic as long as you have sources still. For that on play when digivolving to suspend something and then delete one of your opponent's Digimon that is suspended with the lowest DP, the lowest DP, and then floodgating sorts, because when it's suspended, your opponent has to attack suspended Digimon. And there are ways to get it big, much like that EX8 Tyranno. But that's the level 6s. Level 7s, Agumon Bond Bravery. It's great, it removes things. Somebody in my community put me onto it, I tried it out, I really enjoyed it. And what's not to love? On play when digivolving, delete your opponent's Digimon whose total DP adds up to it. So with all the different DP buffs, you can remove a whole lot of things. And then when attacking, if you have a tamer, doesn't specify what kind of tamer or name of a tamer, but you just swing. If you have a tamer, trash the top card of your opponent's security. And notably, from 3 memory, if you have 2 or less security, your Agumon can go into this. So promoting out an Agumon evoing into a bond, a bravery ace, removing your opponent's board and swinging game is something that can happen. And I've done. Alright, now for Tamers. One Mimi. I feel fine with Mimi at 1 in this. She's a mem setter. She helps accelerate with the additional hatching or promoting from raising. So she does a lot. I feel she's fine at 1, but there's definitely arguments to run her at more. And then for the Taigas, playing 1 BT2 Taiga for the piercing, and then Tyranno. Specifically Tyranno, cost reduction. It will not work for Dino Rex, and it will not work for Dino, unfortunately. But it will work for your level 4s, which notably the BT11 Taiga, which we're playing 2 of, doesn't do. It works for your level 5s, which is great, but without it working for your level 4s, it can be a little bit of an issue sometimes. Not enough to make me want to play more of this one than this one now. The not all turns, the your turn piercing with your Tyrannomon can come up, but I do favor that DP a little bit more than the piercing. But the Tamer that we're playing, a full set of Ryotaro. He does everything that you want it to do. He's got the newer, well, since BT14, I should say, so not quite that new. But the start of your main effect, if your opponent has a Digimon, gain a memory. It's got a little bit of memory gain. But then your turn, when you attack with a Digimon, if it's a Tyrannomon, you can suspend Ryotaro to climb into a Tyrannomon or a dinosaur with the cost reduced by 1 while swinging. So if you swing, like I said, that Tyranno X with a Tyrannomon in source, climb off of that, you climb off of Ryotaro, and boom, you're at level 6. Alright, and to round out the rest of the deck, the options. 2 red scramble. Most of the deck is red, so that's why for the red one, it's going to recycle parts when you need it to, and then beat a cheaper Evo when you need it to do that, so both are great. 2 offensive training. Again, most of the deck is red. It finds most of the things in the cost reduction Evo. But then the final 2 cards, I need to find room for memory. I need to find room for Crimson Blaze, for sure. But until then, and even probably after then, Garnet Memory Boost. So Garnet Memory Boost actually finds every one of your Digimon other than 2 Agumon, which are the 2 of green, purple Agumon. Garnet Memory Boost is going to grab all of your red Digimon, but then notably, the issue that I was having was whiffing on searches when Metal Tyrannomon would come up. And very much needing the Metal Tyrannomon. Garnet can grab the Metal Tyrannomon since it is a black Digimon. It can also grab the upcoming promo, Rust Tyrannomon, since that is also a black Digimon. The only thing, like I said, that it does not grab in the deck is that Agumon. And then obviously the Rusty Ace while it is getting played. Which there's also an argument for playing the BT11 Rust Tyrannomon even over that one. But let's see a couple of shuffles and see how it goes. Let's see how some shuffling goes. Shuffle the eggs since there are 5, off for opponent to cut. Say to do it like that. Our roll 19, opponent's roll 14. So we'll be on the play. I'm still not sure which I prefer with this one at the moment, being on play or being on the draw. Being on the draw does give you a little bit more memory to set up and do some things with. Being on the play has its own benefits of being able to set up and do stuff sooner, depending on what you want to do. There's also no shame in, going hatch, Evo, play a Mimi. Alright. So would this have been the cape, or would this have been a mulligan? Rust, Tyranno, Agu, Tyranno X, Tyranno. It's missing a level 5, but it's not the worst to 3, 4, 5. We have a few different things that we can do here as well. Alright, so we hatch, we're on the deletion Koro to start things off. We are going to evo into our Koromon, draw a Taiga. And now comes the tough part. Do we play the Taiga and put opponent to 3? And then have future evolution reduction? Or do we do this now? We need to find some cards, so it's probably better to just go ahead and put opponent to 3 with the Tyranno, draw into a Dino. So we've got a better level 6 now. Alright, so we're just going to do their thing. Let's say that they do the tried and true boost and training, so they're going to find something, and put us to 2. We're going to draw per turn, draw into a Tyrannomon. We're still missing a level 5. From 2 at this point, we got a couple things we can do, but I'm just going to go Taiga, pass turn. Actually, let me take that back, because it doesn't matter. So we can actually it does, because that cost reduction. So yeah, we do need the Taiga and then pass turn. So opponent's gonna promote out. They're at 1. They've got enough, so they're gonna do their thing. They're going to run into a Metal Tyranno. Let's say they clear it, and then Tyranno comes back to us. Let's say we're, I don't know, at 2 again. Draw an Agumon. We got to promote out now because we need to start finding some stuff and just hope at this point. Also, the retaliation isn't the worst, so we go into the Tyranno X, draw. There's another Tyrannomon, and like I said, we're just going to immediately go into that with the retaliation. If they had a level 3 that they played out, so we would pop the level 3. Since that would be about the only thing of note with 3k DP or less, and then retaliation into something. Just have a nice little reset there. Again, need to find parts, so put opponent to 1 with an Agumon, Tyranno X, offensive Agumon. I value the Tyranno X obviously pretty highly, even though we could really use the rookie. Alright, opponent needs to rebuild, so maybe they just do a Evo and pass. So we draw into a Tyranno, Koro. We're still hurting on some stuff, so we're going to go into this Tyranno, pass over, we draw, have some DP reduction, or buff. Alright, opponent gives us 2 this time because they're back up to level 5. We go and we draw a Taiga. Evo into Agumon, draw a card. There's a Tyrannomon, so now we've got a few things we can do here. Without having the Ryotaro, we can't do the double climb. But what we can do, we can get into the metal. We're gonna do this. We're gonna X Evo, draw a card. There's a Master Tyranno, and I would actually much rather have the Master, especially in this scenario. Alright, because we're gonna swing. Cost is gonna get reduced by 1, so we'll reduce by an additional 1. Make that a 1 cost Evo into our level 5. Draw a card. We check security, but we are also checking at 8, 10, 12, so it's a good possibility it could survive. We're at 2 memory right now. We can do a couple different things. We can Evo into a Tyrannomon in the back. For 3, put our opponent to 1. We can, which would leave us open with a Tyranno Ace play if they go to swing. I'm actually fine with giving the opponent 2 more memory, going into the Tyrannomon, not having, or Dynamon, not having anything to delete, but having a big old boy that's just going to sit there. So, let's see what the mulligan will look like, though. And the last remaining cards in security were Tyranno X, EX1, Agu, and a Ryotaro Williams. Alright, so this goes here. That goes there. We're on the play. What is it going to look like this time? Hopefully a little bit better. Because even with the ability to draw additional cards, play some searchers, things like that, you are never guaranteed to find the pieces that you want, even if you are playing them at a proper number. For example, we're playing 5 level 6s in here, which I feel is enough, and 8 level 5s, but still have a problem finding level 5s. Even with the amount of level 4s and level 3s, there's still the problem of you may not find them, because ratios are a thing. So, if this was mulliganed, what would it look like? I realize that I did that actually backwards. Should have shuffled like that before doing the soft bridge. Alright, so we mulligan into Tyranno X, offensive, bond, Tyranno, metal. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We don't have a draw for turn, so opponent's going to get 2 because we're going to hatch an egg and just immediately fire off that offense training and flip a Tyranno X and a Ryotaro. Well, we can telegraph that we have the Tyranno X, or maybe it doesn't telegraph it. But the Ryotaro is pretty important. Opponent is at 2. So that they do their thing again, so we're at 3. We draw. Garnet boost. Still really needing a rookie. So we'll fire off the Garnet boost first. Flip 1, flip 2, flip 3, snap take the rookie. Let them go on the bottom in that order with the metal first and then the rust. Evo into the Agumon, draw a card, which is going to be an offense training. And then from here, I'm actually very comfortable just Evoing into the Tyrannomon. Since even from one memory, we can get to where we want to be. So we give our opponent the 3. We just need to hopefully find a level 5 and a level 6 with what we got going on. Alright. So, opponent promotes are going to do their thing. They check the 1, they check the 2, cool. Red Scramble is nice. We won't be using it anytime soon, but the Red Scramble is still nice. Like I said, maybe we go over to 1. Do we draw one of the things we need? Well, there's a Tyrannomon. This deck can be kind of defensive, so what do we do here? We don't have enough to offense training and play Ryotaro. But we do have the level 5, so we promote out. Because we chose not to put this on top of our Scramble. Alright, from here, this effect is going to go off. Cost reduction is going to happen. Meaning all of our Evos are now reduced by 1. Pop the Mem Boost to go to 3. Use that, play the mentioned Ryotaro. We're at 0 now. X Evo and 2 Tyranno X antibody. Draw a card. Have a follow-up rookie now, at least. Alright, so we have raid, we have a couple different things that we're going to be doing in everything. We're going to be going for our opponent's biggest, obviously. Because what we will do is we will swing. We're not going to declare raid, we're going to go into the body that our opponent had that is the biggest one, that, assuming it is safe, obviously. Because let's say it's rookie over here, it doesn't matter, even if we're afraid of something. So we're going to, for 1, go into a Metal Tyrannomon. We're going to draw a card. That Metal Tyrannomon effect is going to go off to give us the bounce to hand or deck protection, the D-Digiball protection, and it's also going to D-Digiball something of our opponents. We're still in the attack phase though, so the aforementioned level 3, if it was there, is now deleted. If there was a second body on board, it would have worked out better, because this is actually better as a direct security attack, because when we go into the Tyrannomon for 2, because we will be using the Ryutaru to do that, we will delete our opponent's lowest DP suspended Digimon. This is suspended, so its effects are ready to go, and we're just now checking for 2, because all these deletion effects, if it took care of something, if we were actually running into something, we would be piercing over it for security attack +1 and getting the trash effect. So a much better showcasing of what the deck can do. Security would have been another red scramble, a Tyranno to play to be played out of security, and then that lone Agumon. But that is the deck. So if you like the profile, please leave a like. If you dislike it, by all means, dislike it. Let me know where I can improve, whether it be the sound quality, the deck lists themselves, anything of that nature. I know that this is not the best Tyrannomon deck list, and I'm not going to claim it is. It's a fun list. I enjoy it, but I'm sure that somebody out there has a much better one. But if you want to come hang out over on Twitch with us, where we play more of the TCG, as well as a couple other TCGs, by all means, please do. Because we're also playing FGC games, we're playing RPGs, we're playing some gachas and doing different things. We're a lot more uncouth over there too. But have a good rest of the day, everybody. Take care.